Welcome, Amakhosi Network. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be giving player ratings and we're going to be chatting about what Nabi said about Kaizer Jr., what Kaizer told him, and what it means for Nabi's future. So Nabi basically confirmed his future, but I'm going to tell you about that. But before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. In the post-conference, the post-game conference, Nabi spoke to the media and he answered a lot of questions. It wasn't even questions surrounding Polokwane City. It was more questions regarding, is he staying, is he going, how he plays. There are some points that Nabi mentioned that made sense. There's some points that we won't agree, but let's get into it. The first most important part of that Nabi spoke about is whether he's staying or going. So how Nabi answered this question is that Nabi said on Friday he had a meeting with Kaizer Jr. and they already started discussing player recruitments. They already started discussing the squad. They already started discussing basically the scouting and all of those, and the players that Nabi wants and the players that Kaizer Jr. must get. And the Kaizer Jr. and Terra are already starting to get those players. Like they're already starting the negotiations now, apparently. So what this means is Nabi is basically confirming that he's going to be the coach of Kaizer Chiefs going into the next season. That is basically what Nabi confirmed. And there's not much information that is out there that can make one disagree. I believe Nabi is going to stay for another season. If he starts badly, then it may be cut short. But definitely the next season, I think Nabi is going to be our coach unless he chooses to resign. If he sees that Kaizer Chiefs is not recruiting the players, because that's still a possibility. Because if we get to August and the league is starting and Nabi is still crying about players, then he could easily say, there's no point again. Like, there's no point in me continuing because then I'm going to have the same season I had last season. Let me rather resign and go to Tunisia and be in the Tunisian Federation. So, as much as Nabi has confirmed that Kaizer Chiefs management basically is saying he's staying, the truth is that Nabi can still resign and ditch Kaizer Chiefs. So, just keep that in mind. But what I say is, okay, this is my opinion, and I know a lot of you don't like this opinion, but I always say that Beto can only be available for so long. Let me put it to you that way. Beto right now is available. And every time Chiefs has fired a coach, Beto has been available, but Kaizer Chiefs has decided not to sign Beto. And this has constantly been happening. And every time this happens, a lot of us who enjoy what Beto can do for a club realize one thing, that there will come a day when Beto will sign for a team that he will probably stay with for the next 10 to 20 years, and that he will decide that he will never coach Kaizer Chiefs again. And that team is a team like Pirates. A team like Pirates could take Beto, make him the coach. If he fails at coach, make him the technical assistant, and etc. Pirates is already a Champions League team, so it's in line with what Beto likes, etc. So I just wanted to bring that up to be like, Chiefs. If Chiefs is ever gonna sign Beto, technically this is the right time to sign Beto. But if you wait, the day you then decide that we need Beto, he will probably not be available. But anyway, that is just a side note. Another thing that Nabi mentioned in the press conference is they basically said, based on our Kaizer Chiefs quality versus Polokwane City quality, like, how is Chiefs not being able to get 3 points? And Nabi basically answered this by saying he will not sacrifice how he plays for the sake of just beating Polokwane City. In essence, Nabi said this. Nabi said, the reason why Chiefs is bad this season, right, is because he has chosen that he would rather fail playing his team the way he wants to win than succeed playing the way he doesn't want. For example, Nabi said, when Chiefs, he's looking at Chiefs in the long term, not the short term. So he says, when he goes into Africa, if he plays the way Polokwane City plays, he will do nothing in Africa. He will not be able to achieve anything in Africa. But if he continues with his style of play, he knows he will be successful in Africa. So the question then comes that Nabi basically has told us that he doesn't have, if his style of play doesn't have a way of winning, he will not put winning of the club ahead of his style of play. He would rather die with his style than pick up points, meaning that he's more aligned to winning in his style than winning in bad times. What do I mean winning in bad times? Currently, the Sundowns coach, is not playing in style. He's not playing the Sundowns style. Can he do it? Yes. But what the Sundowns coach has been doing, especially in the Champions League, is that he's been prioritizing results than the style. Even the Marumo Gallants coach, who joined Marumo Gallants recently, I think he's also from North Africa, he also said when he got to Marumo Gallants and they were like somewhere number 15 or something like that, he said, at this point in time, I have joined Marumo Gallants now in Jan, whatever the case may be, and my priority is to collect points. And I don't care how I do it, I'm going to collect points. He said the style of play we're going to see next season, not this season, because now I've joined when it's critical times and the team needs a way to win. So that's the Marumo Gallants coach. He said, when there's a time to pick up points, choose the points. When there's a time to work on your playing style, work on your playing style. But you cannot sacrifice the team for your playing style. That is what that coach basically highlighted. But Nabi doesn't work like that. And I'm arguing this because you can have it both ways. When I say have it both ways, you can either have it Nabi's way and you can understand what he's saying, or you can have it a fan's way and a club's way. Fans and a club's way is that, yes, we want you to enforce your playing style, but don't compromise on winning, because we are a big club at the end of the day. We have to prioritize winning. But on a Nabi's side of it is to say, if you are winning, right, if you choose to win and sacrifice your style of play, you then are basically in telling the management that you're fine. And this is where it gets a bit tricky. So I hope I explained this correctly. But if Nabi chose to continue, let's just say Nabi finished number 3 with this current squad, he would be in essence telling the management that the current players in his squad, Abomat and all these players, are good enough for Kaizer Chiefs. That's what would happen if Nabi chose results. If Nabi chose results, he would be telling Kaizer Mtaung Jr. that he doesn't need too many signings. But Nabi is not going to do that. Nabi knows that he has to show them that what I want to do, I can't do with these guys. And that is the reality. So I can't fault Nabi for that. Like, Nabi is taking this like a champ. And he did this knowing that this could get me fired. But he knows why he's doing it. So Nabi is not ngangering anyone. He's saying, give me the players or let me go. So I give Nabi credit for that. And yeah, as much as it's at my expense, because I don't like seeing my team doing what it's doing. But at the same time, I understand from his side point of view. But let me give quick player ratings. Peterson had a solid performance. I'm going to give him a 7. He didn't have much. He didn't have much things to save, but when he was called upon, he had a very good game. This is the Peterson I've been wanting to see. This Peterson that has come back, very minimal mistakes except for that one pass that him and Edmilson Dove almost caused the blunder. But it was more Peterson's fault than Edmilson Dove, because Peterson literally passed the ball into Dove's feet. So say what you will about that. So 7. Cross, not threatened, not much work. 6. He was not threatened at all. I'd be lying. The next one is Edmilson Dove. Milson Dove, 5.5. They weren't threatened, but Edmilson Dove lacked composure today. So that's what I wanted to say. Mistakes, Baba. Miguel almost his mistakes almost resulted in goals, so 5.5 for him. Solomon's actually had a good game, so 6 to 6.5. Yes, a lot of people are done with Solomon's, but I'm rating him not on his season, but on the game. On the game, he was the one who was part of creating a lot of the chances. He wasn't really threatened in defense, but in attack, his balls in the box, he hit the post that Tashrik Morris couldn't header into the pole. He had some crossfield, like he had a decent performance, not a great performance, but decent performance. So I'm not going to give him a rating. If I have to give him a rating on the season, it won't look nice. But in terms of the game, he was good. He didn't do the most amazing stuff because he's not the he's the kind of right back that needs to get behind, but I think he did well. The next one is Tetra and Matt. Not too much. I didn't see too much of them. They did their work, but because Polokwane City was sitting back, it needed more creative like DMs or sentiments. These guys were there, but they were there for against 3 players of Polokwane City because Polokwane City chose that they coming to get a draw. Because as long as Polokwane City got a draw from Chiefs, they knew they were in the top 8. That's all they needed from Chiefs. They just needed a draw because as long as Chiefs doesn't go ahead of them, they are fine. So that's what I'll say there. So with those guys, I'm just going to give 5.5. I don't feel like they had good performances. They just were okay. Both Matt, Tetra and Matt. Because what we needed from them today is more the creative side, but they're not that. That's not their game. You can say what you want, you can blame them, but it's not their game. So, yeah. As much as people will say, but Matt has 4 assists, but Matt has 4 assists because he plays the most, and he always finds himself in advanced position. So you will get an assist. It's just that based on how can I put this in a way that people will understand? If Matt was a proper 8, he would probably have close to 11 to 15 assists based on how attacking Kaizer Chiefs has been. But because he's Matt, yeah, that's what I mean. Then and even goals, he'll probably have like 5 to 6 to 8 goals. But yeah. The next one is Mdu Shabalala. Mdu 5.5. Good energy. The thing about Mdu is that I like Mdu very much as a player. I think he's not there. I think he's playing at 40% of his talent. But the one thing about Mdu is that he has energy, he has movement, but he has bad decision making and bad pass selection. So that is the one area in his game that I'm just not happy about. How can I put this? Mdu needs to take care of the ball better. Mdu needs to take risks better. Mdu needs to he needs to hold the ball. The importance of the ball being at Mdu's feet. It mustn't be him just trying something without caring that it's going to reach there. He must be sure it's going to get there. And not do a fancy pass, whatever the case. He must be sure of what he's doing. And that's the element of Mdu that's missing. And I personally believe that fixing that for Mdu is working on this after training. That's one thing that's missing, and more quality players in the team. He needs to have more examples of what to do because I don't think he has enough of that. The next one is Lilepo. Not too much of Lilepo today. Not too much. Lilepo was very quiet, so I'm just going to give him a 5. The next one is Morris. Yeah. The fact that he got substituted in the first half, I don't know what more I can say about him. So, Morris, 2. I don't know. I don't know what to say about Morris. I feel like I'm missing a player. But yeah, or Duba. Duba, I didn't see Duba today. But I don't blame him as well. Playing on the wing, it's not Duba's thing, man. It's not Duba's thing. So also him 5 or 4, just not his thing. Nabi, for this game, I'm going to give him a rating of 3 or 4. The reason I'm giving Nabi a rating of 3 or 4 is the team he starts with. It's as simple as that. The team he starts with is my biggest problem. Because when you start with Mtetwa and Matt, you are not going out there to win. When you start with Mtetwa and Matt, you are not going out there to create goals. You are going out there to defend. Basically, you're going out there to not lose. That is what Nabi went out there for. And for me, this was the kind of game where 3 points is more important than 1 point and 0 points. Like 1 point is equal to 0 point at this point. For me, this was for me personally. I felt that the 3 is more important than the 1 and the 0. But for Nabi, obviously, because he doesn't want to be the coach with the most defeats in the season, he chose that he would rather have the 0. And then the next one is starting Tashreeq Morris. This guy has given us nothing the whole season. Duba has been our best striker. Why not start Duba? Serino was there on the bench. He even came in the second half. Start Serino. Start the players that we've been playing with. The players we won the the Nedbank Cup with. Start those players. But no, Nabi puts Morris in the field. Okay, he takes him out. He takes him out in the first half. Then towards the end of the game, he put Ranga in the field. Ranga, who we don't know where he is. We don't know if he was on vacation in Zimbabwe. We had no idea where Ranga was these past few months. We were even surprised to even see him in the match day squad because I didn't even know that Ranga Chivavera was a Kaizer Chiefs player. I thought his contract was just terminated because this guy was non-existent. Never in match day squad, never ever anyway. Now all of a second Sunday, you expect that same player to give you something. So all I'm saying is that our team is very unrealistic. Our coach does some very questionable things. And sometimes I wish I could just sit with him. Like, I wish I could have an interview with Nabi. I could sit with him and I could just sit with Nabi and be like, so Nabi, what goes through your head when you need 3 points and you start Mad and Tetra and you start Morris and you put Ranga in the matchday squad and you start Serino on the bench? Like, what is the thought process when you're doing these things? Especially if you want to get into the top 8 to go and compete for another cup. Like, but anyway, that's all I have to say. Nabi is staying with Kaizer Chiefs. Tell me what you guys think about that. Amakhosi.